Alright, so I got my Jeep positioned in the garage. Starting to tear it apart. So far I've already got the radiator out. And the AC components. Well, most of them. So right now all I'm doing is starting to rip off this front bumper and the winch. And then I'm going to take off the grill, the hood, the fenders. That way I can get better access to the motor to pull it. So right now I'm just taking everything apart. That way it'll be a little easier to get in and cut out the motor mounts. Alright, I'm gonna make this my stopping point for now. I've gotta go to work. So I pulled the right fender off, battery tray, so I can get a little more access to the motor, figure out what I need to pull and cut. Still got to pull off the left fender and the grill, and then I think the motor's ready to come out. Already pulled the radiator, and then here's my list so far. We're getting pretty big, so we'll see how. Alright, let's see what we can do tomorrow. I'm back working on Project Desert Money. Been gone for just over 3 weeks between Florida and Utah, so a little behind on my schedule, but making it work. So today I tried to take off as many electrical connections as I could and label them. I've got alternator, starter wire here. I'm not exactly sure what this is going to go to, so I'll probably just leave it. And there's a surprising amount of connections for a carbureted motor. There a lot of vacuum lines, but all that emission stuff's going away. Got two. I'm not sure if they ran both, if there was a so I'm not sure. I found what seems to look like two coolant sensors and two oil sensors. I'm not sure if they use different ones for the dummy light and the gauge, so I'm gonna have to look a little further into this. Here's one. The other one's deep in there. But I started taking out some of the transmission to the engine bolts. Took out the clutch line. Just trying to rip everything out. Took out the drive shafts. I'm debating on, since I'm limited on space, on removing the transmission and then pulling the engine separate, or just going for it and backing the Jeep out a little bit and trying to pull both out at the same time. I definitely don't want to damage anything because I'm trying to sell this motor. See how it goes though. But slowly but surely making progress. Alright, so here's the progress so far. I've got the motor transposed. Really wasn't that hard. I ended up buying new axles. They're both 10 bolts out of a Chevy pickup. Fortunately, they have 273 gears, but they'll work for now. Ended up having some problems with the J10 axles, with the rear being offset too far, and the front would have worked. The only problem was that no one actually sold parts. Well, no one sold axles when I was looking to find a chromoly set. So I'm gonna run this for now, and then we'll figure something out later down the road. Still gonna do my own crossover steering. There she is. So now I've got to come through and I've got to cut out the motor mounts, and I cut out these track bars that they kind of useless. And then on the front I'm gonna have to come out and cut these hangers out. And I've got a new set from Dave's Off-Road Customs. That way these Chevy axles will bolt straight in, and maybe in the future I can go Dana 60s out of a CUCV. Something like that. Still trying to figure out the clutch. I think I'm just gonna go with Novak's kit for the SM465. They've just got a little deal that bolts on right here. Has a slave cylinder, and they have an arm that moves back so that you can adjust it. So I'll probably use that. It's pretty slick. A little more than I want to pay, but I think that'll be nice. I was thinking about doing a hydraulic throb bearing, but the problem I was running into is I don't have a lot of room here to put a larger clutch master cylinder on, and it requires a 7/8, which I have thought about using. Apparently the 4 cylinders, I think it's like 80 to 84 CJ7s, they used a similar style clutch master cylinder, but it was a 7/8 bore. But I think I'm just gonna go straight for Novak. Well,